So the word NETZAKH can mean victory or eternity, and the way many people teach it, including myself, is that it really has to do with the quality of commitment and persistence, which has a very particular kind of flavor to it in terms of qualities that we can cultivate within ourselves. This quality of being decisive, of being committed, and particularly in relation to spiritual practice, for most of us, having that regularity of commitment, in other words, some kind of practice, some kind of meditation, some kind of prayer, something that you make part of your life that you do every day, is very, very different from doing it once in a while. So that's a good way to put it. There's a story here that a disciple once asked the Baal Shem Tov, "Why is it that sometimes I have such a palpable sense of the divine presence, but sometimes I experience a sense of separation and remoteness?" And the Baal Shem answered, "It's like a mother who supports the hands of her toddler learning to walk. The toddler toddles toward the mother, but then the mother steps back and loosens the child's hands a bit, making it a bit harder. In this way, the child learns to walk on their own." Spiritual practice is not unlike other practices such as physical exercise or playing music. And like those things, I probably say physical exercise and playing music because those are pretty much the only other two things that I do. But I'm sure that all of you out there have lots of other things that you do. And this really applies to anything. That, sometimes what we're doing comes easy, but then if we want to move to the next level with it, then it's necessarily difficult. You have to work against the resistance of the limits of your own ability, and then through working into it hopefully in a skillful and non-frustrating way, then you get better and better at whatever it is you're practicing. So while it's true that every moment we spend exercising or practicing an instrument allows us to improve, it's also true that only through regularly engaging with the exercise or the instrument can we continue to develop and not regress. So it's not just a matter of how much time we've put into something, but it's also a matter of making it part of our regular routine. Because if you don't make it part of your regular routine, the next time you come to it, you will have regressed a little bit. It's not just accumulation of hours, because our minds and our bodies don't remember everything after time. So in this way, both the experience of improvement and the possibility of regression can actually be motivating forces urging us to continue developing on the path. And that's part of the idea of this Baal Shem Tov story, is that he's saying, oh, you're feeling separate and remote. You're not feeling it anymore. That's not a bad thing. That should motivate you. So spirituality works that way. When our practice bears the fruit of ecstasy, peace, and spaciousness, and we can also add other qualities, such as courage, such as openness, acceptance, non-judgment, love, compassion. All these different things are qualities that arise from spiritual development. When we get that positive feedback, it should motivate us to continue and develop our practice even more. Don't think that the journey is over just because you had a special experience. Practice more. Because at some point, the wonderful experience we thought we had achieved simply vanishes. Like all experiences, it comes and it eventually goes. But this too should motivate us rather than disappoint us. In this way, whether we experience closeness or remoteness, the answer is the same. Don't give up. This is the imperative of the seventh sphera of NETZAKH. There are 10 sphirot on the tree of life, but the 7 weeks of the Omer are only really about the 7 lower ones. So if we're counting just the 7 lower ones, then NETZAKH will be number 4. But if we count all 10, then it'll be number 7. The idea is that we need to be eternally persistent in our spiritual path, and that this commitment itself is the victory. This is so important to understand, that the victory we're looking for is not some kind of persistent experience that never changes, some kind of stabilized state of ecstasy. Sometimes people who meditate can get that idea in their head. But rather, the victory, the accomplishment, is being able to make it something you're committed to, something that you work at every day. That's the NETZAKH. Experiences come and go, but our persistence can endure if we are committed. This is NETZAKH. So this week, let us open ourselves to that reality. Some people are really good at it. Some people are extremely challenged at it. So by looking inward and seeing what we need to work on. A little piece of Pirkei Avot. Rabbi Chanina ben Chachinai Omer, Haneor balayla, a person who stays awake all night, v'hamahalech b'derech yechidi, and walks on the road alone, v'hamafane libo levatala, and their heart turns to emptiness or idleness or meaninglessness. Hare ze mitchayev benafsho. Behold, this person bears guilt in their soul, apparently for wasting time. This particularly stern Mishnah warns us not to waste a moment of our precious and short time we have in this earth. Every moment can be a form of practice, of learning, of service, or even simply being present to the ever-present. This kind of teaching can be a powerful reminder of our task and potential. But also, on the other hand, we should hear it in the context of Tiferet, which was last week's sphera, the sphera of balance and beauty, meaning that we need to strike a balance in life, obviously. It's not meant to make us neurotic or tight or too serious. And it's important to know the way to balance is different for everyone. The main thing is to consciously craft the structures of our lives so that we can grow in fulfillment of our potential for the peace and spaciousness that is our deepest nature. And so here is the chant. This chant comes from the morning blessings, and the blessing is giving thanks for the power to walk on a certain path in a kind of poetic way. It calls Hashem Hamechim Etzadei Gaver, the one who guides or firms the footsteps of human beings. That reminding us that we do have the power. Sometimes we have to find it. Sometimes we have to find the right strategy for ourselves. But we have the power to decide to walk in a certain direction and to be consistent with it, and to therefore feel the victory that comes with knowing we have overcome the powers of inertia against which so many of us struggle, and make a spiritual practice, a daily spiritual practice, real for us. So this chant sounds like this. Hashem Hamechim Baruch Hamechin, Hamechin mitzadei gavem. And I think my voice has raised up a little bit, so I need to adjust so I can hit that low note for you. Here we go. Baruch Hashem HaMechin. Baruch Hashem HaMechin. Hamechin mitzadei gavem. Hamechin mitzadei gavem. Nai, 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 nai. Baruch Hashem HaMechin. Baruch Hashem HaMechin. Hamechin mitzadei gavem. Hamechin mitzadei gavem. Hananai nai Baruch Hashem HaMechin. Baruch Hashem HaMechin. Hamechin mitzadei gavem. Hamechin mitzadei gavem. And preparing to come into silent meditation, just a reminder to make sure your devices are on Do Not Disturb. Closing any windows or anything that your computer or devices might be poking at you to try to get your attention. Taking a break from all that. Bringing your body into a comfortable, alert position. Letting your hands be unencumbered on your lap or however is comfortable. Letting your eyes be closed or just unfocused unless you want to see the words on the screen. And bringing forth the attitude of offering your attention to the fullness of this moment. Offering your attention from your heart with love. Bringing your right hand to your heart. And expressing that offering of attention with lecha and a long out breath. Deep breath in. Lecha. Bringing left hand to your belly, feeling awareness flowing downward, feeling into your inner body, awareness permeating your organs, flowing downward through your legs to your feet and toes, and rising upwards through your upper back, shoulders and neck, feeling the flow of your breathing, awareness flowing down through your arms and hands and fingers, upwards into your face, facial muscles, brain and nervous system, bringing a little smile to your lips, being the benevolent, loving presence, dwelling in the temple of the body, and affirming with Na'aseh, deep breath in, Na'aseh. And bringing right hand to lightly touch your forehead, awareness expanding outward into the space around you, the sounds, the objects, the light, the air as it comes in and out of your body as you breathe, the support below your body, all of the outer world arising in that field of awareness, the same one field within which your inner world of thoughts and feelings is now being felt. One consciousness, one field of awareness within which all experience comes and goes. And you are this field, you are this openness. V'nishma, deep breath in. V'nishma. And kissing your fingers, relaxing your hands. Atyahu, you who are the source and substance of all being, you who are reality itself, beyond the grasp of the mind and yet intimately present right now. Atyahu, not separate from this consciousness that we are. You are the divine. Atyahu, as we chant together. Atyahu, 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 Atyahu. And continuing with Atyahu in your mind, being awake and alert to notice when thoughts arise in your mind, letting them come, but not following them, not becoming interested in them, letting them be, letting them come, letting them go, returning the mind again and again to just the repetition of the tefillah Atyahu. We come into silence for about 12 minutes. Baruch Hashem HaMechin. Baruch Hashem HaMechin. HaMechin NETZAKH HaMechin NETZAKH. And closing the meditation, once again bringing your right hand to your heart, offering your attention to the fullness of this moment from your heart with Lecha. Deep breath in. Lecha. And bringing left hand to your belly, awareness flowing down into your body, connecting with your senses, consciousness dwelling in the temple of the body with Na'aseh. Deep breath in. Na'aseh. And bringing right hand to lightly touch your forehead as you expand outward your awareness into space, noticing the sounds, the objects, the openness of the space, and knowing that all of this is happening within the field of awareness that you are. You are this vast openness, without boundary, without border, within which all experience unfolds. V'nishma. Deep breath in. V'nishma. Kissing your fingers, relaxing your hands as we continue in this week of NETZAKH. May we be nourished and tap into that power to apply it practically in our own lives. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, v'yal kol Yisrael, v'yal kol yoshvei tevel, v'yimru, Amen.
Amen.
Amen. And I apologize, we got a little bit of a late start because of some tech difficulties. So if you have to go, have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for coming on. But if you want to stay on for another few minutes, we're going to do a healing prayer now. You're welcome to type in the names of those for whom you'd like to make a healing prayer. You can type the names into the chat. And as we see all the names come through in the chat, we hold them together with those that we are praying for refuah shalema, complete healing on all levels. El Narifana La, El Narifana La, El Narifana La, El Narifana La. Yeh ratzon milfanecha Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu shetishlach meher refuah shalema, refuat nefesh, refuat v'guf l'kol hacholim. May there be a complete healing of body, mind, and spirit to all who we hold in our hearts and prayers and all who are in need. And we say, Amen.
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 And if you are in the first 11 months of mourning the loss of a loved one or observing a yard site, you're welcome to rise and embody your spirit, and we'll say the Kaddish on mute except for I would like to invite Ruth to lead us in Kaddish, who's saying Kaddish for her sister. Everyone who's saying Kaddish is welcome to type in the name or names of the person for whom you're making Kaddish. And those who are not saying Kaddish, please support by briefly unmuting yourselves and saying the responses and then putting on mute again to avoid the noise. Okay, Ruth, if you are ready.
Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'alma divrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman karib v'yamru Amen.
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 Ishmei
Yishmei
Rabba
Rabba
Rabbah
Mevarach
v'Avraham
Ve'olam
Amen.
v'Yisrael
Amen.
v'Yamaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudisha b'richu.
Richu.
Riku.
Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata da'amiran bi'alma v'yimru Amen.
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 Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen.
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 Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, v'yal kol Yisrael, v'yal kol yoshvei tevel, v'yimru Amen.
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 Thank you so much, Ruth, for beautifully leading us in Kaddish. May you and all who are saying Kaddish feel the support of this monthly community, which is a combination of many different communities. Thank you so much to all of the co-sponsoring communities, and everybody should have a blessed week. I'm going to turn off the live stream now, so have a wonderful, restful evening, all folks who are